Well, let's speak now to Shahid Qureshi, who's a senior political analyst for London Post. Thanks for being with us. We hear that the Pakistani government, considering the ramifications of this, a lot of people pointing to another sectarian attack. But just talking to you, whilst we were watching that, you don't think this is a sectarian attack in terms of motive, do you?
Well, I'll give you the last 24 hours incidents. A very well-known, very big terrorist of MQM was hanged yesterday in a mud jail for murdering the KESC chief. The other incident is that the Gwadar port is become operational today, which is very significant in the economic development of Pakistan. Ismaili community is very peaceful, peace-loving community. There was no sectarian incident related to them in the past. Iran, however, Iran and Indian nexus is operating in Pakistan and supporting terrorists.
But then why target this particular group?
Well, because this is a soft target for them to attack. And also, it is not possible for any terrorist group to operate in Karachi, especially in Sindh area, without the involvement of the ruling parties of PPP and the MQM terrorist groups.
Just in terms of the government response, I mean, I mentioned since the Peshawar attack there was supposed to be a crackdown, all sorts of new measures to target militants. Why has that not been effective? Because this has not been the only attack in recent months.
Well, the reason is that the PPP leader Asif Ali Zardari and the MQM, they are responsible for more than 30,000 deaths in Karachi in the past 7 years because they are complicit with the policing. They've destroyed the policing system in Sindh, and they are also responsible for the ineffectiveness in non-cooperation of the police with the military operation going on at the moment.
They would of course deny all of that, but I mean, you were making the point, or is there any sort of coincidence between that visit, that meeting between Pakistan's Prime Minister in Afghanistan that we saw yesterday and an attack like this today?
Well, there is a possibility that those forces who doesn't want the peace in Afghanistan and Pakistan, those forces could be involved. But there's a long shot, keeping in view in the history of the MQM terrorism, which has killed more thousands of people, which is the evidence is available with the security services. But the complicity of the politicians is causing more harm to the civilians. And for example, more than 10 to 15,000 policemen are just for the security of the politicians. So the public has left with nothing.
So their capacity to protect the public, as you say, it becomes diminished. I mean, there was literature found at the scene. It's not the first time in recent weeks from the group IS, and they have also claimed this attack. How seriously would you take a claim like that? And is Pakistan beginning to have a problem with the presence of Islamic State?
I don't think it's a very long shot. And I just narrate you when the Rangers did a raid on the 90, which is the MQM headquarters. They found the flags of the banned religious outfits from all sides. And the security services has said that both Shias and Sunnis were sometimes killed by the same weapon. This is coming from the police forensic report. So this terrorism related to the non-religious elements, for example, the MQM terrorists who are arrested in past few months, and they have admitted to the security agencies that they were involved in this. One day they were killing a Sunni, and the next day they were killing a Shia, and that was something to deal with the Indian agencies involved in the region as well, which has been said by the military chief, and the other law enforcement agencies has also mentioned the Indian involvement.
Well, there we have to leave it. Shahid Qureshi, thank you very much for those thoughts. Thank you. Now, other news and